Hello and welcome to the Two Ace Podcast, the podcast designed to help you manifest your Two Ace mindset. My name is Josh Brooks and my one focus is success through the art of discipline and flow. I hope you enjoy the episode. Now let's get right into it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is you are joining me. I hope you're having a good one, and today I'm going to be talking about the whiteboard strategy. Now, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've recorded one of these, since you've seen an upload, and that's because I've been, like I said in the last episode, I've been indulging in the freedom. Now I finished my exams for the year, and I just wanted to take a step back from the podcast world, and I just wanted to evaluate and just reconsider. And, I didn't want to just go in with the podcast in the next episode and just sort of doing it for the sake of doing it. Like I said in the last episode, I really want to provide as much value as I possibly can. Now, I've been thinking about the next episode, as in this episode, for a while now. And, different ideas have come into my mind, and the one that I just keep coming to is the whiteboard strategy. Now, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's obviously involving a whiteboard. And yeah, basically, the whiteboard strategy is, first and foremost, requires a whiteboard, right? A whiteboard, no matter what size it is, it's good because it allows you to just write ideas down, do whatever you want. It's like a portable journal that you can just rub off. And just before I do get more into the whiteboard strategy, I just want to say that, so over this period of time that I've not been recording, not been uploading, I have gone through every single episode of my podcast. I've listened to it on my own, and to be honest, I actually have. I stopped doing some of the things that I talked about, and it was getting me a little bit down, to be honest. And then the Down Days the Down Days episode, it came up, and I was like, damn, I just got to listen to myself. You know what I mean? You just keep pushing forward. There's no rush to do anything right now. You've got just quality over quantity at the end of the day. So I just listened to all my podcast episodes. I really sort of meditated on them and really thought about them, and sort of had to reevaluate and decide that, like, what the next sort of steps are for the podcast. And like I said in the last episode, I'm not going to be doing regular, daily episodes, weekly episode. I will try and do one at least. It's not going to be like once every 3 months or something stupid, or something not stupid, something ridiculous like that, because that's quite a long period of time. But I'll try and I'll keep it to at least once a month. I think minimum once a month. I'll try and do a bit more than that. I'm sure I will, but like I said, I want to be sort of fluid with it. I want to go with the flow. Sort of do it when I feel like I can provide the most value to you and to myself and to the podcast. Anyway, so let's crack on, shall we? Right, so the whiteboard strategy. The whiteboard strategy. So I first got a whiteboard when I was struggling with extreme anxiety, and it helped me write a load of stuff down. And what I would do is I would just be able to get all my thoughts on this whiteboard and see them in my room, and I'd be able to use different colours, and then once it's all out there, I'd be able to just rub it off and forget about it if it's not important, because most of the time it wouldn't be. It'd just be thoughts in my head that I'd have to get out to see. I'd be able to visualise them, understand them, reflect on them. It's not important, rub it out. And over the past couple of years of having a whiteboard, I've developed the whiteboard strategy that I'm going to talk to you about. So the key concept is the development of the space on the whiteboard strategy. Not everyone will want to use their whiteboard differently. I know a few of my friends have whiteboards and they use it similar to mine to my method of using it, but I don't think they have quite like a rigid setup. Not that I have a rigid setup, but it's like I try and keep key concepts on there. For example, let's say 3 key concepts that I have on are a to-do list on there, and I have like my evening routine. So when I do my next day plan, I write it on my whiteboard, and I also like having a quote, like one of my favorite quotes ever. Now, so like I said, over the course of me having a whiteboard, I've developed a strategy and I've used it for different purposes and have it in different places. So initially, like I said, I'd use it to just get thoughts on the page, boom, and then I'd write it for reminders. I'd do reminders, I'll write it on it in the evening, and then I'd wake up and I'd be able to see it. And that is the crucial thing, I think. That is the most important concept, because if you write something, the night before you go to sleep, and then you wake up and you're in bed, and you want to stay in bed, you can. But if you've got something on your whiteboard that's from your previous self the night before, talking to you, lazy sausage, get out of bed, even just as simple as that, you're going to want to listen to yourself at the end of the day, because you wrote it and that's the best thing for you, is to get up, go, be active. Now, I like to write, as many quotes as I can. And I had it sort of scattered everywhere, and I had one focus, and I had 2 ace, and I had, I had my one focus, I had success through the art of discipline and flow, through consistent achievement on there. I had all these different sort of mantras and different to-dos, and it ended up being a bit chaotic. So I had to sort of, reevaluate and develop this strategy. Right. So my current use for the whiteboard involves, so I've got it on the back of my door. So every time I leave my room, it's on, I can see it. So I've got the to-do list on the right. If you imagine, you got a whiteboard, square, rectangular, top right-hand corner. There's a piece of paper that I wrote years ago, and it's just got a quote by Marcus Aurelius on it. The one that's, I mentioned it before, it's what's your thoughts because they become your words, words because they become your actions, actions because they become your habits, habits because they become your character, and what's your character because it becomes your destiny. And I love that because I wrote it ages ago and I want to just keep it there. Anyway, underneath that, I have my to-do list. So I have like just a few, obviously everyone's got loads of stuff to do that you could write all sorts on there. But it's just like the main key points that have like a deadline and have specific things that I can rub off. And underneath that, I've got like a little list of things I need to study. And then on the left-hand side of the whiteboard, directly opposite the to-do list, is I write, well, it's today's date, but then I rub it off, and then in the evening I write tomorrow's date. And then I'd write all the times I have my alarms at. And then if if the alarm goes off and I'm doing that thing, or I've started doing it, or I'm about to, then, I tick it off, boom. Or if it's not, then I write why. So I can sort of understand my behaviour and understand my habits in intraday. And then above this, at the top of my whiteboard, I have one of my favourite quotes at the moment. And I've got the main bulk of it in black, and then the bottom, just one liner in red. And I like to use different colours because if you do sort of the majority in one colour and then in another colour you write the most important thing or the most important things, they stand out. And then right in the centre of my whiteboard, I've got a little crosshair. So then when I'm at my desk and I'm feeling flustered or whatever, I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling overwhelmed, whatever I'm doing, if I'm working, if I need to sort of channel my focus, I can just look directly at my whiteboard, look at the crosshair. That is my focus. Breathe. Let's go. Now, the whiteboard strategy. There is more than meets the eye to this. And don't underestimate the power of a whiteboard. Because I know, like I said, I know a few people with a whiteboard and, they love it. They use it for things like I do, just visualization. artistic creativeness, planning, preparing, just whatever you want is great. And the use of different colours, if you can assign a colour a mood, or a colour an action, or a colour like a thing, like let's say black is to-dos, red is today's tasks or done, and then blue could be like a quote. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Like I said, I like to keep it simple: black and red. Black, mainly everything. Red is important quote or important thing that I want to focus on. And yeah, the idea behind having a whiteboard is you put it somewhere. Because someone could quite easily just be like, oh, well, why don't you just write all this on your phone? Why don't you write all this on your pinboard? Why don't you blah, blah, blah? Have it around, on a piece of electronic device. Like, no, that's not the point. The point is to have it so obvious and so in your face that it's on your wall, on your door, and it's easy enough to just get rid of. You can just rub it out. You can have a clean whiteboard. And I tell you what, having a clean whiteboard, a completely blank whiteboard, and just looking at it, it's like space. Like I said, it's the development of space. The whole idea of the whiteboard. If you have a blank whiteboard, it's a blank canvas, isn't it? It's blank space. It's a lot of space. If there's stuff on there, there's not a lot of space. You've got to use the sections of the whiteboard differently and clearly. Like in uni, so I'd have it really rigid in it. It was quite chaotic because it was really full. But obviously, I wanted loads of things on my whiteboard so I could keep a focus. So I had to develop a really refined way of using it. So what I did was I'd have I'd have the quotes at the bottom. I'd have trust the process at the bottom, and I'd have one focus at the bottom. Then on the left, I'd have to-dos, like life to-dos, and then I'd have like uni to-dos, like what do I need to do, but only uni-based kind of thing, you know what I mean? And then I'd have to do today or to do tomorrow. I'd write the night before in my ER, so I'd wake up with the time and all the different things with the time next to it. And then on the right side, I'd leave it kind of blank, so then I could draw. Because at night time or just in the day, if it's nice to be able to just draw and just be a bit creative. It's like having that bit of time to do whatever you want. And yeah, the whiteboard strategy. I would recommend getting a whiteboard for everyone. If you journal, if you have started journaling because of the podcast, because of what I said, then I'd highly recommend whiteboarding. So that's the new word for it. Or if you don't journal, or you do because of other reasons, not because of me, again, I'd recommend a whiteboard. It's just a little simple way, and you can even have multiple. Yeah, you can have a huge one. You can have a huge one that you put work on, that you have on wheels, or you can have one you hang up that's semi-little, semi-big, or you can have a little one, a dead little one that you just put in your bag and you can take with you, so you can just jot notes on. Or if you're trying to teach someone something, like I don't know, let's say someone's stuck on a problem, whatever it is, you can just quickly draw it in whatever colour, then you can rub it off, and then they teach it you, so then you can understand, they understand what you've just taught them, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, it's pretty versatile, and that's why I love it, really, because you can leave stuff on it for a period of time. You can have it blank for a period of time. You can you can set yourself points in the day where it's like whiteboard time or whatever, and how you're going to do it, how you're going to go about it, different colours you can use. Sets a focus up, sets a clear focus up, because if you're a busy person, and you have a whiteboard, if you've got a load of different tasks that you need to do, but you're worried that you might forget them, just put it on your whiteboard. You'll see it every time. And yeah, that is the whiteboard strategy. I just really wanted to sort of explain how having a whiteboard really sort of changed my life in a way. And I'd love for other people to be able to experience how I and how many of my friends benefit from a whiteboard. It's quite often it's just the simplest things, the simplest improvements, which make the most difference. And yeah, that is all for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this opportunity. I've been your host, Josh. 2 Ace. 1 Focus.